The church smelled of incense and old wood, the kind of scent that clings to your memory like a warning. Today was a baptism, a ritual of purity, of new beginnings, and everyone expected the usual serenity, the familiar rhythm of holy water splashing on foreheads, the chorus of whispered prayers. But something in the air was wrong, subtle at first, like the moment a shadow bends differently than it should. The doors creaked open, and she walked in, a slay queen, striking and untamed, dressed in a flowing white gown that shimmered unnaturally under the sunlight. Her hair cascaded like liquid night, and her eyes held storms that made people avert their gaze without realizing why. Mothers clutched their children tighter, men stiffened in their pews, and even the pastor felt a chill trace his spine. She joined the line of new believers quietly, a serene smile painted across lips that promised nothing and everything all at once. People whispered behind their hands, trying to place her in the world they understood, but she belonged to a world that bent the rules of theirs. The baptism began as usual. Candles flickered, hymns filled the vaulted ceilings, the water shimmered in the silver basin. Hearts beat in rhythm with tradition. Nothing seemed out of place. Then came the moment. The pastor leaned forward to pour water over her head. The congregation exhaled collectively, anticipating the familiar splash, the holy ritual complete. But instead of water, a thick, dark liquid gushed from the cup, black as midnight, swirling with faint crimson undertones, steaming in a way that no natural liquid should. The aroma hit the room sweet, earthy, and unsettlingly alive. Whispers erupted. Mothers gasped. Children froze mid-step. Some fell to their knees without understanding why. The girl tilted her head back, and the liquid licked her hairline like a serpent tasting its prey. Faint chants seemed to curl out of the tea itself, ancient murmurs that no human tongue had spoken in centuries. The pastor recoiled, his cross trembling in his hand, as if the very air had rejected the symbol. People screamed and ran for the exits, but their feet dragged as if invisible chains held them to the sacred floor. She opened her eyes, and they glowed faintly with a strange violet hue. The world seemed to bend around her, the walls stretched taller, the ceiling spun with light that should not have existed, and shadows slithered across the pews. The congregation, once human, now appeared split between fear and awe, frozen in a moment that defied explanation. A candle melted backward, smoke rising as if it had remembered a time before fire existed. Her lips moved, whispering words no one could comprehend, yet everyone felt the meaning in their bones. Secrets long buried in the depths of the world's unseen corners unfolded in their minds. Those who had lived pure lives saw their darkest desires. Those who had sinned saw visions of their salvation slipping away. Even the pastor, the shepherd of souls, felt the raw tremor of powers that made angels shiver. The black tea dripped from her hair, leaving tiny, steaming footprints that did not touch the stone. Each droplet sizzled against the floor, releasing sparks that smelled of earth and ash, of rain before the storm. And then, for the first time, she smiled fully, knowingly, and the whispers rose louder, filling the entire church with a language that seemed older than time itself. Fear and fascination collided, hearts raced, breaths caught, and yet no one could move. Outside, the world continued in ignorance, oblivious to the extraordinary that had unfurled behind the heavy oak doors. She stepped down from the baptismal font, leaving the black liquid to settle like a pool of shadows. Congregants dared not approach. The smell of tea lingered in the air, intoxicating, dangerous, alive. She walked to the altar, raised her hands, and the stained glass shattered without a sound. Light poured in fragments that burned like molten gold, reflecting in the eyes of those trapped between belief and terror. The pastor, trembling, tried to speak, to reclaim control with prayers, with scripture, with anything he had ever trusted. But words died in his throat, inadequate, hollow against the sheer force radiating from her. Time seemed to stretch. A heartbeat lasted a minute lasted an hour. She whispered one final incantation, and the black tea in the basin rose, swirling, forming shape spaces of forgotten saints, of witches bane centuries ago, of spirits that had waited for this single moment. Then, just as suddenly, the liquid fell back, still and serene, indistinguishable from the ordinary except for its shadowed glimmer. And she was gone. The congregation blinked, gasping, wondering if they had seen reality or a shared hallucination. The pastor collapsed to his knees, crossing himself, muttering, "Forgive us." The smell lingered, sweet and dark, promising that the ritual had changed something fundamental in the world. Outside, the sunlight felt different. The air hummed with potential and fear. Somewhere far off, a whisper of laughter echoed, gentle, playful, and infinitely knowing. The church had witnessed a baptism, yes, but it was not one of salvation alone. It was a baptism of revelation, of collision, of the unexpected. Heaven and witchcraft had met, and no one would ever forget the taste of black tea that had altered their souls. The memory would haunt them. The black tea would linger in dreams. And somewhere, unseen, the Slay Queen smiled, carrying the world's secrets in her gaze, leaving behind a story that would never die.